be in the place when Bitcoins, they were worth $1. I mean, come on, somebody. Or if I could be in the right place at the right time when, when I miss that opportunity or that relationship or whatever it is, that we have this idea that there is a right place at a right time. And sometimes we can have this mentality when it comes to our walk with God. That I've got to be in the right place at the right time, that encounters with God are reserved for the right people at the right place. And so we have this mindset that says, oh man, I wish I had been in that conference or in that service, or oh, if only I could have heard that preacher, or if only I had that worship leader in my church, and maybe I could be in the right place at the right time. That somehow it is reserved for the select few. The famous woman in John chapter 4 who has an encounter with Jesus, she's kind of echoing this whole idea, and this is before she really knows who she is speaking with. And she said, sir, the woman said, I can see that you're a prophet. Our ancestors, they worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem, another mountain. And she was pointing out this debate that was happening at the time, that people were arguing which mountain is the correct mountain to have an encounter with God. See, the truth is, all throughout the Old Covenant, God met with his people at different mountains. He met with Abraham at Mount Tabor. He met with Moses on Mount Sinai. He showed a glimpse of his glory to his disciples on the Mount of Transfiguration. Different people, same God. Different mountains, same God. Now, this is hard for us to wrap our minds around. We have this incessant need as humans to constantly formalize and systemize everything. Is it here or is it there? Is it this church that are doing it right, or is it that church? Is it this expression or that expression? Is it this type of prayer that works or that type of prayer that works? Do I need to raise my hands like Robert or twirl like JD? Which one is it? We want to break everything into a formula. Which tradition is the more accurate tradition? See, we want to build monuments and shrines to memorialize times and places. And while we think we are encasing, really all we're doing is entombing. And we are trying to break something down and restrict something that was never meant to be restricted. And like the wind, the moment you catch it, you've lost it. God is not to be controlled or manipulated or brought down to something that we can wrap our minds around, because all you've done is reduce God to an idol. Jesus said in Matthew 7, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and those who seek find, and to those who knock, the door will be opened. But for all the knocking, for all the times we've been knocking on those doors, the responsibility of opening the door never lies with the one who knocks. Oh, you can knock quietly, or you can knock loud. You can pound on that door, or you can scratch at it in desperation. But the responsibility of opening the door always lies with the person on the other side. And the truth is, church, people, they are knocking. People are knocking on the door. There is an awakening taking place. All over the world, there is a hunger that is spreading, and people's spirit, they are stirring. More than ever, people, they are waking and they're knocking on the door. In the UK, mainstream media is calling it the silent revival, as young people are returning to faith and getting baptized. Across the world, especially young men, are starting to find their way back into church as there is a renaissance of faith taking place. In Denmark, where we had the honor of pastoring just 10 years ago, this was one of the most secular countries in the world, only outdone by North Korea. Great. Good job. Now, people are coming to faith. People are turning, and the media is scratching their head. Just a few weeks ago, I was talking to a journalist, and they want to start all of these attacks on our controversial theology, which what they mean is that we value life and we define and defend sexuality, and we have Christian young students that choose to believe in the virgin birth of Jesus rather than the virgin birth of the universe. But the bigger story, which everyone fails to see, that people are slowly waking up to, as one paper gave 11 pages a few weeks ago when they visited Hillsong in Copenhagen, is that people who have knocked on the door after door after door after door to find peace and purpose, the door of sex, the door of success, the door of substance, that these people, when they get to the door of Jesus, for some reason, they stop looking for another door. They have found something. As one paper puts it, guess who's back? But church, isn't this what we prayed about?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this what we used to sing about? And we can see, God, that you're moving. A mighty river through the nations. And young and old will turn to Jesus. Fling wide, you heavenly gates, and prepare the way of the risen Lord. But the truth is, the mountain was often an exclusive place. I mean, Abraham told his servant to stay behind as he brought Isaac with him. Moses was the chosen one, and everyone was told, even if you touch the mountain, you're going to die. Jesus only chose 3 to come with him up on the mountain as he was transfigured. See, the challenge with the mountains is that they get all the attention. No one posts a selfie from the murky places of the valley. It's the mountain that gets all of the attention. And maybe this is why Jesus was telling the Samaritan woman not to worry about time and place. She said, woman, please don't talk to a woman like that, but anyways. Love you, Jesus, but come on now. Woman, I tried that, didn't work. I want a master class on how I can get my woman to call me master. And mentor. That's what I want. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. That is a bestseller in the works. Woman, believe me, a time is coming when you will worship the Father, neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. Yet a time is coming and has now come when the true worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth. For they're the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. God is Spirit, and His worshipers must worship in the Spirit and in truth. So church, if we're not careful, our experience can become a stumbling block. We hear testimonies of how people have encountered Jesus. We hear how people, they're meeting Jesus this way and that way, and we start judging, don't we? It's a bit too spiritual. It's a bit too rational. It's a bit too alternative. It just doesn't seem right. What do you mean, ChatGPT? Let them to church. We can't wrap our mind around it. But who are we to decide who Jesus opens the door to? Who are we to decide which knock is the correct knock? This isn't the secret knock in the treehouse of your youth. Jesus said He will draw all people unto Himself when He is lifted high. Listen, there are many ways to Jesus, but there is only one way to God, and His name is Jesus. Let people come from wherever they are. Let them come. James 4 says, draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. But if we're not careful, we can watch people enter the door, and like the older brother of the prodigal son, be offended by the generous love of our Father. And we're seeing people and person after person, and like the older brother, we ourselves are slowly missing out. And like the older brother, we try and 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 we try, and we miss the point of God's unfailing grace. There's a saying that says, practice makes practice makes absolutely not, it doesn't. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes better. Practice makes improvement. And we can always get better. Because just when we think we have figured God out, we get hit on the blind side. Just as we have everything lined up and we wish we could press freeze on that moment. This is the rhythm and flow, and this is how I want it to go. And then something hits us on the blind side. And now we've got to unlearn. We've got to unlearn how to do things, because if we are to be honest with ourselves, sometimes we trust the method more than we trust the one we're seeking. You know what I'm saying? Like, has anyone ever fasted? Anyone? All right, sorry, I'm not asking that question. Some people, you know, when they fast, have you ever tried to fast and then you accidentally eat something? Anyone? You know what I'm saying? And then you walk past and you see some M&Ms or whatever, you're like, oh great, and you take it and you're like, oh no! You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, God can't answer my prayer now. Like, can you imagine God? He's like, oh, Thomas, you blew it. I was this close. I was this close, bro. Everything was like that M&M, green. Come on now. What are we doing? We're trusting the method more than the one we're seeking. So when we get hit on the blind side, when something, comes out of the shadows, it's time to unlearn. And it's time to relearn and learn a new way of climbing a new mountain. Climbing this new mountain in a new season with new challenges. The good news is, it might be a new mountain, but it's the same God. It might be a new season, but it's the same God. It might be a new challenge, but it's the same God. So the woman said to Jesus, I know the Messiah, the one called Christ, is coming. And when he comes, he's going to explain everything to us. I love this moment. Could you just imagine Jesus going, what? I am. Come on, can you give it up for Chris Mendes as he comes?
Gracias. Can we thank Thomas and Onika?
Absolutely amazing, and I feel that before I get started, you guys can see it. You're so kind.